So looking back at November 15th, 2011, which was obviously a huge day, not just at Berkeley, not just part of Occupy, but it had, news from across the country, even across the world. For me, it was kind of surprising because I was just supposed to be part of this fun, not that huge event, which was the Mario Savio Young Activist Awards, which I was there to be a part of along with Chris Nassat, one of my youth poets, and a woman named Ellen Choi. We were supposed to be part of this small award ceremony in front of in the student union, but it happened to be the same day as Occupy Cal's big protest that they had planned, which was going to be right outside. And so the folks from the Savio Awards, Lynn Savio, who is Mario Savio's widow, she and the committee said, well, this is a free speech event and there's the protest going outside. There's no way we're going to have our little ceremony inside with the big protest outside. And the organizers from the protest ceremony came together and combined these two events into one. So when I was supposed to speak to a small crowd of 200 people, or 400, or however many hundred, it instead turned into 10,000. So that was unexpected, but like all movements, all moments of joy and of change, the best moments are unexpected. And so when we got out there and we saw the mass of people, and it was just people in every direction, people on top of, the student union, people behind Sproul Plaza, people, the police were saying 3,000, I heard 10,000 people. However many people it was, there was an electricity in the air, right? There was something powerful, and Occupy was growing, and it was kind of this convergence of forces of Occupy Wall Street, the ongoing student movement that had been fighting budget cuts and tuition hikes, the old school kind of left activists from Berkeley and the Bay Area, the kind of 60s and 70s generation, and you felt this electricity, and to be on the steps, the Savio steps, to be part of this Mario Savio Award, and talking about free speech at a time when a week earlier Berkeley students had been hit by cops for protesting for Occupy. Free speech is something, it's not just from the 60s. It's not just something back in the day, it's an ongoing fight, and Occupy really, I think, revived a lot of the activism that we need both on campus and around this country. And a year later, you see Occupy, that there's no more tents, there's no more, pepper spray up at Davis, at least not right now. But you do see the kind of ripple effects of what have happened. I don't think Prop 30 would have passed without Occupy changing the conversation about income inequality, student loans, student debt in this country. I don't think people would have been so upset. I don't think people would have mobilized. And I think the challenge is, where do you go from here? And there were 10,000 people on that plaza last year. There's probably 10,000 answers to that question. But the thing is to keep moving. And I'm a poet, and so to me the questions in some ways are more important than the answers. The questions of imagination, imagining a new world. And after this election we just had, there wasn't as much optimism and hopey and changey and all that stuff this time around. And I really believe, and this is what my poem was about, that hope and change come from the people. And so we need people on Sproul Plaza again, but we need people imagining new ways, both to protest, but imagining new things, and creating the world we want to see. So I think that night sparked a lot of people's imagination in something larger than themselves, and the question is, how do we take that idea and turn it into reality?